So this video is to skip all the hard parts of making your own Foundry, because I did all the hard parts. So now I'm going to explain the hard parts and the easy parts and which ones work, which ones don't. Because sometimes even the hard way, me trying to do the easy way turned out to be the hard way, and it still didn't work. For me, it took about a month, maybe 2 months to complete it, mostly because of shipping stuff, but also because I had to have the trial and error. So this is to save you, the viewer, the trial and also the error. And it's just, you get to do it because it's so fun melting any metal you want, mostly, that the block of difficulty may stop some people and price. So why not let everyone do it if everyone can? So mine seems to be, especially in the burner, seems to be cheaper than most of the other ones that I've seen. The actual Foundry is basically the exact same. It's a copy of the newest version of the King of Random's Foundry with the 1, 2, 3 different layers and whatnot, and it gets orange hot in like 10 to 17 minutes. So better than what I was doing before, and I have videos of that and everything explaining all of that. The problem I see is whenever I try looking up people's videos on YouTube how to make them, making the Foundry was good because the King of Random channel did it step by step, and that was fine. The burners were where I was having issues because I was trying to cheap out, but I went a little too cheap, and it just didn't work. So now this is to hopefully do better than the other videos I've seen, because they never explain price or like time really, or whenever they say like it's the cheapest way, you also need like 600 tools to do it, and I'll explain all the tools you need, which are very basic because that's what we got. So like mine, this one costs a little, there's a variant, it's a little below 300. It's between 300 and 400. Let's just say that. That's pretty easy. Between 300 and 400, depending how you get your materials and how much you mess up. If you mess up, it'll cost you a little bit more. And my mess up made it cost, mine, in all honesty, cost over 400 just because of the trials and errors. Because what I always see the on the make it yourself videos, I always see the Grant's burners, but those I never heard once anyone say what they cost, because they cost like $70, around $70 to make, with the coupling on one side and the metal pole, and the coupling and the bits and all that to do. And it's actually a lot of work to do as well. If you're not very good with tools, that's probably a hard thing to do anyway. And then 70 per burner was too much for me, so I cut that out real quick as soon as I went to the Amazon list and figured out how much it cost. So either this video or probably these sets of videos is going to be explaining the failures first, and then at the very end it's going to be the finished product, which I can burn. I've melted brass and copper now, and brass melted in like 8 minutes, and copper was like, I think it was between 15 and 20 minutes, and it was liquid. You could always buy a forge, buy a foundry. They make, Devils make them, Devil Forge, Devil Foundry, whatever it's called. But theirs cost, the little one, the 6 kilogram, cost $300. And the one that's actually useful for like melting household scrap is 10 kilograms, and that cost just over 400. It's like 415 or something like that. There's like a $280 one, but I don't know why. So I'd be wary of that. Mine can cost under 300 depending how you get your materials. Average is probably going to be like 350 for a 2-burner forge. The other ones is a 1-burner forge, Foundry. So I use the terms back and forth because you can use it as either one depending how you try. Yeah, so I'm trying to keep the trial and error out of your way and just let you get to melting. This is my little side yard setup. I have a little table, stainless steel. I have so everything you'll need, like bare bones, unless you hate yourself. You definitely need gloves, because with these burners, there's no way you can get even near it with anything barehanded. In fact, I did it a little bit. First time burning myself was doing that. I made, this is just a random piece of steel as a poker. This is what turned out to be my lid lifter, just like a $20 grill spatula, I think it was. I bent it and formed that. That was actually cold. I didn't heat that up. This is good to have, cheaply again. They make better ones for forging, but I just bought these. It's a log, a fire log gripper. And these are my special bits. They're corn. It's my ingot, basically. I didn't want to make an ingot, so this was, I think, less than $1 for a cast iron corn. So I do have my little corns. These are my ingots. I've only used one crucible for now 3 different metals. I use this pan as well, just thrift store. So this was just Amazon. That white, I might explain that later. This glassing only happened once I burned brass, I believe. But aluminum didn't damage at all. I don't know how many times I burned aluminum. It was a ton. I have a ton of cans. This is all leftover aluminum. For this side of it, I got a huge tank of propane, and I have 2. This is a spare. And then you want a tub of water, because your propane can freeze while you're burning for any length of time. Now I chose this long of a setup just because I didn't want the tank near the heat, so I would actually recommend long hoses. I think these are 6-foot hoses. So mine's a 2-burner, so I had, this was trouble. I had to make this split valve, I guess you could call it. I will try to find each bit of this and tell you exactly what it's made out of. That way you don't have to search very hard, because I had to search pretty hard. But just a few fittings and a nozzle, and I hook it there. I actually don't usually use these unless I'm only using 1 burner. So something important, however, that I didn't know, again, at the beginning, was you can't use one of those. You'll waste $20-ish. That's just a regular grill burner. Do get, I think Amazon, I'll check it out, but I think Amazon has a cheaper one than this, and it has a little indicator. I would get the one with the indicator. I've bought this before I found that one. I'm not gonna spend the money for 2 of them for no reason, because this works fine. But you need a high pressure regulator. If you don't get this, it just doesn't burn hot enough. It's the bare minimum is that, which then goes all the way around to here. Splits off, and I have 2 burners to my forge, which that'll stay secret for now because it's the finished product. Turns out this is going to take several videos just because I'd rather explain it well in many than bad in a few. Not many, like I'm not going to do like 13 or whatever. But if you are interested, want step-by-step, I'll give you prices for everything that we can know in advance. Subscribe, and then you'll be able to see the rest of them. And you'll also be able to see what's under here. It's not a big surprise what's under there because King of Random, I use their design basically one-to-one, there's some differences, but not anything big enough. It's just really how I put it together. I'm basically making the video that I wish I had on the internet for everyone else or anyone else who would want it. That's what this is. That's what this little series is going to be. But I'll have other series, it's not just gonna be this. I give you specifics of price and whatnot, tools and all that. So subscribe and find out. Thank you. Have a good day.